ain't been in a game but a minute. You gonna be a dealer's baby mama? You got no clue what you're getting yourself into. Every time Tommy walks out that door, he may never come back.
The mid-season finale may have been the best episode so far in Season 3. This entire episode had an original Power series feel to it, but things could start to get worse for Tommy going forward. Episode 5 opens with Wheelie getting taken out, as retaliation for a move Tommy made earlier in the season, and that moment felt like the true beginning of the war that's to come. Claudia pulls Elise aside, and explains her plan to bait in Tommy by using the feds, but even Elise sees the danger. She brings up the fact that Tommy already outsmarted Claudia once and sent her to prison, and it's clear that it's only a matter of time before it happens again. Tommy calls Claudia to warn her that Ortega is coming for her, and proposes they work together to handle him. Claudia agrees to meet at an empty lot, but the moment Tommy hangs up she texts Stacy, who's already tied up with her own problems, and this was Claudia's very first mistake that she made. Tommy then stops by Kate's place and runs into JP, telling him that D-Mac is staying locked in with CBI. JP wants no part of it and storms off, which instantly made me think he was going to try and track D-Mac down himself out of worry and frustration. Bones breaks the news to Diamond and Jannard about Wheelie being killed, and Diamond immediately wants to reach out to Tommy, but Jannard shuts him down fast and blames Tommy for everything. He wants revenge, but Diamond wants to squash the beef and bring their enemies into the coalition. Jannard argues it'll make them look weak, but Diamond tells him the decision isn't up for debate. The divide between them grows right in front of us every episode, and it feels like the start of a much bigger fracture that could happen very soon. Claudia shows up to meet Tommy while Stacy watches from the shadows, waiting for a confession. Tommy hangs back and notices Claudia talking to someone, calls her, and flips her entire plan on its head, ruining Stacy's setup. After that moment, we saw Claudia go to Vic's place demanding to know why he hasn't taken Tommy out yet. She apologizes to him, and that's when it became obvious her time was almost up. Vic rejects her offer to join forces, and as she leaves, Ray notices her, and everything begins to unravel. Vic is forced to reveal who he really is, and Ray realizes the woman she saw was Claudia Flynn. She panics, but somehow still falls for Vic's manipulation. Stacy gets humiliated when CPD turns their backs on her at her campaign rally, and it felt like the moment her entire illusion of control slipped away. She's been trying to climb her way into power by any means necessary, but when the police department publicly turned their backs on her, it exposed how fragile her position really is. Later on, Vic brings Tommy the rally footage and suggests using the campaign donations as leverage. Tommy agrees but says they need something stronger, and that's when Vic reveals Alicia, the eyewitness from the art gallery. Instead of killing her, Tommy pays her to expose Stacy on camera for trying to bribe and intimidate witnesses. Tommy choosing to pay her off instead of killing her shows just how much smarter he's gotten by realizing that he didn't need blood to get leverage, he needed proof. Diamond meets with the Yardis and convinces them to join forces, but when they demand retribution for Wheelie, Diamond flips the script, and a person in all black on a motorcycle pulls up and wipes them out on the spot, showing that Diamond isn't playing peacekeeper anymore. Meanwhile, Vic meets with Stacy and offers her money for her campaign, as Tommy appears from the shadows and begins to play the video of Alicia exposing her. And this forces Stacy to accept the offer or risk being ruined. Tommy also pushes Stacy to assist with taking Claudia out. Diamond and Jannard meet with Che, and earlier in the episode we saw Jannard begin to tell Shanti about this meeting, but he never follows through. I get the feeling that this will blow up on him, because Jannard has wanted this meeting with Che for a long time, and if he can pull Che away from Tommy behind Diamond's back, it could damage everything that Tommy built. Tommy and JP eventually patch things up after Kate sends them beers, leading to JP reaching closure on D-Mac joining CBI. Stacy puts Tommy's plan into motion by ordering Claudia to meet with Tommy again. While Claudia thinks she's being set up, Stacy promises to let her run her operation untouched if she pulls this off, and Claudia takes the bait. Mireya sees a crying woman at the hospital and learns that her child accidentally shot himself with the father's gun. She breaks down, and immediately I thought she might be pregnant, especially knowing how stressed she's been about Tommy's lifestyle. Later in the episode, that suspicion gets confirmed, matching exactly what I predicted at the start of the season. Some members of the Flynn family approach Vic about taking out Tommy, saying they've got men out of state who can handle it. This is the kind of decision that can get Vic killed if Tommy finds out before they make a move. Later on, Claudia shows up to Tommy's loft, only to find him waiting for her. They shoot it out, and Tommy ends her story with a single bullet. I expected Claudia to last at least another couple of episodes, but the way she went out felt like the final thread being cut in a poetic way. Tommy calls Diamond for help to clean up the body, but Diamond doesn't pick up, so Tommy ends up reaching out to the last person we expected, which was none other than Shanti. She shows up and tells him everything, including the Yardy situation, leading to Tommy realizing Diamond and Jnard are acting on their own. Shanti warns him that they're only looking out for themselves, and this moment felt like the beginning of her alliance with Tommy. But Shanti may have just put herself at risk with Jnard, because if he finds out, he could end up taking her out just as I predicted. Mireya returns to the loft ready to tell Tommy she's pregnant, but finds blood on the floor and no Tommy in sight. By the time he comes back and explains the shootout, she decides not to tell him, and she's clearly second-guessing everything at this point. Based on the previews, Mireya will likely tell Tommy that she's pregnant in episode 6, but the real question is whether she wants to keep the baby or escape Tommy's world entirely. If Mireya survives this season, she might force Tommy to choose between her or the streets. And if he hesitates, I could see her packing up and leaving Chicago altogether. Power has a brutal pattern with Tommy's love interests, and we can't ignore the fact that Holly was also pregnant right before her death. So this is why I wouldn't rule out Mireya getting killed around episode 9 or 10. It all really depends on if Power will break the cycle of Tommy's love interest getting killed. Looking ahead to the second half of the season, Vic, Diamond, Jnard, and King Kilo are shaping up to be Tommy's biggest threats outside of Ortega. Stacy Marks has officially crossed the line, and there's no turning back. Whether it's death or prison, she's headed toward a crash and burn ending once it comes out that Tommy funded her campaign and that she helped set up Claudia. Vic, in my opinion, should tread very lightly. Deep down, he's always known that he doesn't really want to be in the drug game, and he's actually helped Tommy in a major way with Stacy Marks to where he might be the first snitch that Tommy could let live. He's made good moves with Ray to where he might actually have a chance to start fresh, but then he lets the Irish family get in his head about the Flynn legacy when he's been trying to break free from it since season 1. Vic will end up dying just like Claudia when he could have just played the position. In the next episode, we'll likely see Tommy and Mireya at dinner with Miguel. If Mireya reveals she's pregnant, that could destroy Miguel's plan with Ortega to capture Tommy and ignite a war between them instead. Sooner or later, Diamond is going to choose Jnard over Tommy, and the problem is that he's not realizing that everything that made CBI successful came from him and Tommy keeping business first, and now he's moving backwards. As much as Shanti can't stand Tommy, she's eventually going to realize that she has no one else really on her side. Jnard isn't really gonna turn on Diamond, and this leaves her completely exposed. When all the dust settles, Shanti and Tommy teaming up might be the move that changes everything. I'm curious to know your opinions on episode 5 and what you think could be next for Tommy and Mireya. Let me know down below in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe for all things within the Power universe. See you all next time in the universe of Power.